So welcome to my class. We finished with Unit 2, Money and Banking, and in this we are going to do Unit 3, that is Determination of Income and Employment. And this is in short the Keynesian theory of employment, output and income. And in this we have what is known as, there are various concepts that we'll be doing along with the introduction. That is something like aggregate demand, its determinants. Then we'll talk about aggregate supply, its determinants, meaning of full employment, involuntary unemployment, problems of excess demand, deficient demand, measures to control them, monetary as well as fiscal measures, that is the government measures. So this is what we'll be doing in general. So let me start with the introduction. Determination of income and employment. This is Unit 3. It is for 12 marks. Now, regarding the introduction, this is Keynesian economics, and let me just and we'll be doing important concepts. And look at this. So in this, we have what is known as term income refers to national income and employment of resources. Now the word determination refers to determination of equilibrium level. So it is the determination of equilibrium level of national income and employment of resources in an economy. So what is it? Of course, it's a macro study and it relates to the economy as a whole. So what is national income? It measures the production activity of the economy as a whole. So determination of national income amounts to determination of national production. So the study is similar to the determination of equilibrium output of a commodity by an industry. How is it determined? By the demand and supply, the market demand and market supply of that good. In the same, that's a micro study. So here it is a study of national income. It's a macro study. So it relates to all the goods and services taken together. That is called aggregate output. And the forces behind the determination are the same, the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So in short, equilibrium level of national income is determined by aggregate demand and aggregate supply. And the word aggregate refers to the country as a whole. For example, aggregate demand means demand for all goods and services by the country as a whole. It can be from the pin to ship, as I said. Everything. It encompasses all goods you can ever think of. So, and that is one approach. And another thing is, since the saving and investment approach, even with that, we can talk about the level of income that is determined in the economy. Now, another thing is that the income generated is limited by the amount of resources available. Now, the maximum level of national income is reached when all available resources are fully and efficiently employed. And this is what is known as full employment. So, there was this classical view which said that, or the traditional view, which was based on the thinking of Adam Smith, David Ricardo, J.B. Say, etc., which said that there's always an equilibrium between the aggregate demand and aggregate supply. And even if it is disturbed for some time, it balances itself. Supply creates its own demand. That was the basic idea in those days. The modern view, based on economic thinking led by John Maynard Keynes, said that national income can be determined even, or there can be an overfull employment. The economy can also function at an underemployment equilibrium. So this was a, say, digression from the classical point of view. So that's what it is. Keynes says that national income can be determined even below the full employment equilibrium. So to understand this, we have to go through his concepts of ex ante, ex post, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, propensity to consume, propensity to save, and all of that. If you can just have a look at this. So, in order to explain his concept and his digression from the classical view, he has used concepts like ex ante, which means planned, and ex post, that is actual, and the aggregate demand, what are its components, aggregate supply, and in supply we have what is known as, because supply, aggregate supply is output or income. Income can either be consumed or saved. So then he talks about propensity to consume and propensity to save. Propensity to consume has then average propensity and the marginal propensity to consume. So also with saving, propensity to save has, again, it has average propensity to save and a marginal propensity to save. So all of this we are going to do in this. We're going to do these concepts right now. So starting with ex ante and ex post, as you see, I'll quickly run through all these. Okay, we'll do this in the next class.